Marvel fans, we've got a lot to discuss when it comes to Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever. The movie's production has paused. There are massive rumors about what is actually going on with the film, and we have a new crazy scoop that just came out today, which may help make sense of how they plan on honoring Chadwick Boseman's legacy and the character of T'Challa. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerd Adventures Tower as per usual. And what a wild couple of days for reports about Wakanda Forever. And so I want to first begin by talking about the new reports that the production has been halted. And I want to sort of speculate about this a little bit because it's kind of an odd scenario. A couple of days ago, Deadline reported, and actually it might have been Disney actually just putting it out there for all the trades to know, but I'm looking at it on Deadline right here, that Black Panther Wakanda Forever pauses production as Letitia Wright recovers from her injuries on set. Okay, so what they're talking about here is we understand that Black Panther 2's November 11th, 22 date will not be impacted by the production delay, but they say up here that it has confirmed that Disney is shutting down production on Black Panther Wakanda Forever for a temporary amount of time. This news Friday comes in the wake of star Letitia Wright injuring herself in late August when she suffered minor injuries on a stunt rig incident. She was released from the hospital at that time. So, okay, so that's what they're saying right now, right? And this is being reported all over the place, that they're giving her more time. Like, it won't come out until, or rather, they won't resume production until early next year. And this is all because of her back injury, to give her time to recover. Now, if you believe the official story, that's one thing. And I just want to say we're going to dip into some speculation here. And of course, like, far be it from me to have any like real idea of what is going on there or to judge Letitia or whomever for what is exactly going on there. Okay. But I just want to point out that the Wakanda Forever movie has been a really interesting lightning rod of controversy about, all sorts of things, really, right? Like, very early on, Letitia Wright said some really interesting things, like about how they should just cancel Black Panther 2. Really weird stuff going on there. And then there's, of course, sort of controversy surrounding her opinions of, doing stuff for the Rona. That's all I'll say about that. And there's just been a lot of sort of weird controversies and almost like this dark cloud hanging over Wakanda Forever, because many people believe they should just recast T'Challa. Of course, Chadwick Boseman, absolute G, real life hero. But as a comic book fan, dude, no, I want more T'Challa. I think they should recast T'Challa. And if you're on team #recast T'Challa, put it down in the comments section below. It's an incredible character that means a lot to different folks. And so there's been a lot of weirdness surrounding this movie, right? Like, Martin Freeman comes out and says some stuff about how weird it is. Hopefully they can bring it home, nail it. Apparently Ryan Coogler has a great plan. But there's been some just really, really interesting discussions around the film. Now, here's what I find kind of sus about them pausing production at this time. Again, the official story is that she still needs time to recover from her injuries, but as they say in this article, she suffered minor injuries on a stunt rig and she was released from the hospital at that time. They said it was all Gucci Mane, that she was fine. She was going to be able to get back to work in no time. Now, months later, they are reporting that they need to pause production for some time to allow her to completely heal from her injuries. But again, this kind of comes on the heels of the weird comments made by her and some of the controversy that sort of stirred up because of her opinions on, vaccinations and stuff like that. So it's just kind of sus, the whole thing. I'm not saying she's not injured, but I am saying it's not outside of the realm of possibilities that they're pausing the production for other reasons, and that they're going to try to figure out some things, plan some things, fix some things in the script or whatever. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Also, why couldn't they just shoot other things without her in the film? Why couldn't they just shoot other stuff right up until she's ready to come back in, or use a stunt double to shoot her stuff? It's just a really weird and sort of sus story. And that takes me into some interesting places here, because this came out around that same time. This was done, a couple of days before that report came out. it is from Binge Watch This. They say here, as expected, Shuri will be the lead of Black Panther Wakanda Forever with Namor on villain duties. Daniel said, I can confirm Shuri is the lead and Namor is the villain. Now, this lines up with a lot of different things we've heard. In fact, Nick Santos with the hashtag show, in my opinion, was one of the first people to come out and say Shuri is going to be the new Black Panther. But what's weird about that is if you look, Grace Randolph quote tweets that tweet by Binge Watch This, and she says, but get this, Shuri will be Black Panther for just one movie at the request of Letitia Wright. She goes on to say someone else will become Black Panther, and that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to ruin the end of the movie. It's a great choice. People will be happy. I will actually explain the news scoop that is talking about that because we have a better idea of what that actually means. But let's just pause for a second here. Letitia Wright saying interesting things on social media, becoming a little disenfranchised with all those social media chatter and being the star of this big Disney production. And she only wants to be Black Panther for one movie. She requested that. I believe Grace. I know many of you are like, oh, Grace, whatever. Dude, she's right about like 90% of the stuff she talks about. I believe her. So I'm just saying this story of them pausing production, it's a little sus to me, okay? I obviously wish Letitia the best. I hope she makes a speedy recovery. I hope there's no actual issues with her back, and like back injuries can be really weird. So maybe she does just need that time. But again, I can't help but say it's a little bit sus. Now let's jump on over to a scoop by Cosmic Circus. And look, I think this is real, and you might not want to know about this. People were sort of having a kerfuffle about this big reveal for the end of the movie being out there as a scoop. I don't have a problem with it, but maybe you do, so maybe you want to skip on out of here. Spoiler warning, I believe this to be true. Let's get into it. Exclusive by Lizzie Hill, T'Challa's child will be introduced in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Okay, so here's what they say here. Many Marvel fans have been very concerned about the future of Black Panther after the tragic death of Marvel franchise beloved star Chadwick Boseman. In addition, there have also been a lot of fans concerned that Marvel would never be able to properly honor Boseman's contribution to the MCU and to the world, myself included. He was a truly special actor, and from all indications by those who knew him, a wonderful human being. T'Challa as well, and the way Boseman carried himself in that role was an amazing character who will be deeply missed going forward. I believe this exclusive news I am sharing today from my trusted sources shows that there is a plan to honor Boseman and his iconic character's memory and legacy while continuing to provide the world with more from the culturally important franchise for a very, very long time. This is why I am sharing this today, because I think fans need to know now, not later, that there is a clear long-term path forward for Black Panther, and a path which I hope most will agree honors both Boseman and T'Challa. With that, I am over the moon delighted to share some of the best news about the Marvel film that I've heard in a long time. My exclusive today is that Chadwick Boseman and T'Challa's legacy will be continued in and beyond Black Panther Wakanda Forever through T'Challa's son with Nakia. That's right, they have a child. Before you get too excited, I will just caution you that I have also learned that we shouldn't expect T'Challa and Nakia's young son to take over the mantle of Black Panther just yet in this next film. However, it sounds like the future is very bright with this wonderful addition to the royal family of Wakandas. Okay, so they go on to talk about Letitia Wright, talking about all these different things, but essentially the idea here is that you will have a son of T'Challa that will take over the mantle of Black Panther. We think this is exactly what they were referring to, or rather what Grace was referring to by saying the end of the movie will be really cool. People will like it. That's who's going to be Black Panther moving forward. So wild. Look, that's huge. I don't know how to feel about it, right? I mean, honestly, again, I'm still in the camp that they should just recast T'Challa. I think this could be a really interesting way to continue on his legacy with a child. It's a good attempt to keep all of these things together and to please a lot of different folks. But for me personally, I can't help but just look at all of the buzz around the film, all of the sort of weirdness coming out from different actors that talk about the movie, the fact that they had to pause Letitia's, desire to not be Black Panther moving forward. I mean, do they have a clear-cut idea of how this is all going to work out? Has this always been the plan to sort of get to the son of T'Challa being the person that will take over? I'm not quite sure. It's really interesting. Obviously, as a big fan of Marvel, as a big fan of Black Panther, as a big fan of just all of these people that are involved, like, we want the best. We want the best for the legacy of Chad. We want the best for the universe. We want the best for the actors, for Ryan Coogler, for Letitia. But guys, I cannot help but be just kind of just eyebrow raised, a little cautious, a little trepidatious about all of this. It's sort of adding up to me to be a confusing bunch of stories. Hopefully the movie is okay. Are we going to have more controversy spin out of this movie? Is this movie going to be delayed? I don't know, guys. It's a big deal for Marvel, and they've clearly stuck their flag in the ground. Wakanda is a super big deal for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We've got an Okoye project coming out. Maybe she'll be Black Panther for a little bit while waiting for the son to take the mantle. There's even more Wakanda stuff in the future. Apparently, Ayo's going to play a role in Moon Knight. So Wakanda's all over the place. Super big deal for Marvel. I'm down with that. But I just wonder, like, is this a little bit too much of that, like, corporate, like, this is an asset, we must protect it sort of mentality? I still don't fully understand why they're not just recasting T'Challa. So, I don't know, guys. A confusing bunch of stories, a lot of controversy around Wakanda Forever. I'm very curious as to what you think. What do you think's going on? How do you think it'll shake out? Are you concerned, or do you think they will figure it all out and it's going to be an incredible movie that will obviously do a lot for the legacy for Chadwick Boseman? You let me know what you're thinking about this. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to our channel to see more of our content pop up in your recommended feed. And go check out the live streaming channel. I'm sure you got thoughts. I'm sure you got questions about this. Come on by in a live stream. Ask me. I will let you know. The chat will let you know. We can talk about it together. It's always a good time over there, so go check that out. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.